Before we dive in to today's live broadcast, I wanted to share that I sell blogging courses and blogging ebooks at bloggingfromparadise.com for your guidance. Now, the courses I sell through sites called Gumroad and PayHip. And of course, I link to them at bloggingfromparadise.com. And ditto for the ebooks, guys. I don't sell them anywhere else. I just sell them through Gumroad and PayHip. So, guys, the latest post on bloggingfromparadise.com discusses an analogy concept that you may want to keep in mind. Move back straight as you build your blogging business. Now, what you want to think about, guys, is if you planted a seed, okay, for a tree, you dug up the soil, put the seed down into the ground, patted it down, you watered it, you planned, you made sure it was in the right spot so it'd get plenty of sun. Replanting during the growing season could help, so you'll get natural water in the form of rainfall. And then, if not, if you have some droughts, water it. But you're thinking about this idea of this seed is being planted, or I'm planting it because I intend to grow it into a tree. After 24 hours, that's one calendar day, would you dig the seed up to see how the seed is growing? If it's grown a quantum amount, or 1/15th of a centimeter, or 1/50th of an inch, would you dig it up? No. Would you dig it up after 1 week because you're panicking that it's not a tree and you just want to see if it's almost there? Or would you look in the ground after 7 days, let's say? Would you look out where the seed is planted, where you planted it, and completely panic and say it didn't work because the seed's not a tree? No. It sounds funny, absurd, utterly insane when a human being does this with a seed. Yet, most bloggers do the identical thing with building a blog in terms of driving quality traffic and actually building a business. Personally, various points of my blogging career, I have been 100% guilty of this, and it created a lot of struggle, heartache, straining, striving, and a myriad of difficulties throughout my life. And I totally own that by saying I am guilty of making this mistake at various stages during my blogging career. Sharing this analogy with you can help you look at your blog and your business and say, am I digging up the seed after 24 hours, after a day, after a week, after a month? Do I expect the seed to grow into a tree within 3 months, or within 24 hours, or within a week? In the offline world, you'd never do it when you're thinking about building or growing a tree from a seed. In the online world, most bloggers, when they're trying to drive quality traffic and actually build a business where they open income channels and people buy their courses, buy their ebooks, hire them, click on their ads, grow a referral business, most bloggers dig up the seed so quickly and so frequently, and then they try to put it back in the ground and grow it. and they dig it up again. Now, what are some examples of digging up the seed? One example would be checking your daily blogging statistics, your daily metrics, and judging your entire campaign, your feelings, your emotions, your plan on 24-hour intervals. This is completely insane. And I'm not saying that in a nasty, insulting, or pejorative sense. I don't mean, oh, it's insane. I mean, it's not sane. You see, you're not thinking sanely when you dig up the seed in 24 hours by looking at your 24-hour statistics and judging your plan, your campaign, your feelings. What I'm doing is not working. It was up yesterday. It was low today. It was so high yesterday. Now it's low. Now it's low. Now it's high. Nobody's watching these live videos. Some people are watching the live video. Somebody tuned in, then they left. Then somebody left, and after they left, or they left a snarky comment, I didn't leave any comment, or nobody retweeted the live videos. Nobody shared it. Nobody liked it. Nobody watched me on YouTube. 3 people watched the video after, 7 people watched. That's not enough. Let me dig up the seed. Let me do something different. Let me try harder. Let me put in more time. Let me get angrier. Now, these are some of the ideas that come up in the egoic mind, which are all based in fear. Another example of digging up a blogging seed, one of my courses, How to Become a Professional Blogger in 5 Steps. It used to be the 11 Fundamentals of Successful Blogging. And I mention that because I had a handful of customers who really enjoyed it under that name. So if they're coming across it, I just switched it up and did a little rebrand and reworking. The course accumulated 10,000 views, the page, before anybody bought it. During that period of time, I didn't fully dig up the seed by removing the course, because eventually got people to buy it. They eventually bought it. But I would dig up the seed by looking at those numbers and panicking, failing, turning around, not promoting it, not being clear on it, being shy about it, being upset about it, being angry about it. So I kept looking throughout when, 100 page views for this, 1,000, what's wrong? It's not targeted. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? So in that case, digging up the seed was, I would look at the statistics so frequently as far as page views, and of course, 0 sales for what seemed like a very long time, or a fair period of time. And when I dig up the seed, I'd quit promoting it and giving it exposure. So that's akin to leaving the seed on concrete or cement or pavement and watching it shrivel up and die in the sun. So the course didn't get any love because I didn't give it love. And I didn't give it love because I kept digging up the seed and I'm failing. It's identical to, and this is what happens with the egoic mind and fear. A tape recorder goes off in your head and it plays again and again and again and again. And until you get into your mind and forgive it, until you dig into your mind and you say to yourself, I'm dreaming this, I'm making it up. No, it's reality. No, it's fear. Fear's not real. It appears very real. It seems real, but appearances and seemings are illusions. They're not reality. They're not true. Only God is true. It's only reality, which is love. Love is real. Everything else is an illusion. But the way this world goes, and it happens with this digging up the seed analogy, is if you have fear in your mind and you don't face it and see that it's an illusion and forgive it and hand it off to whatever symbolic deity you wish, that's forgiving it, you'll keep being afraid, feeling the fear, and you'll keep panicking and digging up the seed, which, whatever the version is for you, checking your statistics incessantly, obsessing over statistics so shortly, because the fluctuations long term are so short term, they're so wild, long term is when they build cumulatively. Giving up, quitting, nobody's going to check this out anyway. So you give something, and the world will say positive energy, your course, your ebook, your coaching. You'll give that, not even positive energy, but you'll be like, I feel really enthusiastic about it. and you'll promote it a few times. There's a banging sound, it's just the cat that wants to get in, but keep her out, focus on the vid. You'll pull back, stop promoting it, hide it, and in your mind, there's the fear and the accompanying feeling of nobody's going to buy it anyway. So for 3 months, you'll shelve it, or for 6 months, nobody buys it, and you'll be like, "That's why this is what was going to happen." So you dig the seed, it's dead, it's not even in the ground anymore. And for your blogging business, that's just the promotional side of things. The content you publish on a symbolic level helps to sell your stuff. So what bloggers will do as well is they'll look at the money outcomes and they'll say, forget it. Nobody's buying my stuff anyway. Nobody's watching. Nobody's retweeting. Nobody's liking. Nobody's engaging. Nobody's watching over here. They're not giving me thumbs up. They're not giving me comments. So forget it. I'm not going to broadcast live anymore. So you cut the legs out, you remove the seed entirely, and you cut the legs out from your blogging business because you stop doing the exact things that on a worldly level are necessary to actually make money with your business. And this is really tricky, and this is one reason why I sell an ebook called Creating the Mindset of a Successful Blogger. And you could buy it at bloggingfromparadise.com. I think I sell it through PayHip. But it's an in-depth ebook, a PDF guide, and here is me not ripping up the seed, a really in-depth detailed guide that gets exquisitely into your mindset as far as blogging. So you get into the nuts and bolts with this ebook because I saw myself, and I saw the mistake tons of bloggers make, guys, but I saw myself how injurious and damaging and really horrific it was to my blogging campaign, where I would dig the seed out, cut the legs out of my blogging business, and not create and not connect and not promote and not make money for extended periods of time. So I'd panic, I'd bail, I'd fail, I'd quit, then I'd dive back in, and I'd go through this same process. You may be experiencing the same thing right now. So this live broadcast on Twitter and on YouTube, and me mentioning the ebook, guys, at least look at it. Go to bloggingfromparadise.com and click on the ebooks tab, ebooks tab, and scroll down and click on that tab and scroll down and say Creating the Mindset of a Successful Blogger. Check it out, because that ebook has all the steps to get the successful blogging mindset now, so you don't dig up the seed and destroy the foundation for your blogging business. Each time you panic and bail and fail, and this will feel completely robotic. And the worst part is, guys, it's happening on an unconscious level, so you won't even be aware of what you're doing, and you'll blame the world, or you may even blame yourself, but it's just you're not looking into your mind. You're not thinking about this analogy. You're not saying to yourself, oh my gosh, this is all I've been doing with my blogging business. Another way to dig up the blogging seed is when you really have no idea what you're doing as a new blogger, and you have an experienced blogger who, through his blog or her blog, or through Facebook groups, or through Twitter, or through LinkedIn, Facebook pages, just in different spots online, lays out steps. This is what you do. And this is an experienced blogger doing it. This is what you do to succeed. And you start following their advice, if you even bother, maybe 1 or 2 tips for like a week, and then you quit because it's not yielding the results you expected, most of which are completely diluted. So you're thinking, I was commenting on 5 genuine blogs. Like, imagine if you bought my ebook, How to Build an Online Empire Through Blog Commenting, which is available on bloggingfromparadise.com. So you bought the ebook, you read it, and you started commenting on, say, 5 blogs genuinely a day, which is awesome, for 7 days, for 1 week. And at the end of that week, nobody had bought your course or bought your ebook or hired you as a freelancer or as a coach at the end of that stretch. So you tell yourself that I'm going to dig up the seed. Well, you don't say it, but it's what happens. Blog commenting doesn't work at all. I did it for 1 week. And you quit it. And instead of seeing the journey through, going the distance and making the money, because the strategy works, you dig up the seed, you quit, it shrivels and dies. And then you'll say, man, the growing process never works. See, offline it sounds insane. Everybody's like, of course it works. Yet most bloggers do the identical thing online. They do the same exact thing, which appears to be really crazy, because this is one of those egoic blind spots, one of those we just don't want someone who's coaching us and mentoring us and leading us and helping us, most don't, to tell us what will free us, what will promote our success, what will make us happy, and what will allow you to inspire and mentor and guide more people. Because you have to realize, guys, most of us, and we have to train ourselves mentally out of it, we'd rather be right than happy. So by that, rather than most bloggers watching this video, just there's a part in their mind that would say, I'd rather say that I tried it, that I'm right. I tried this blog commenting and it didn't work after a week or a month. I'd rather say I'm right, it doesn't work, struggle, fail, quit, boom. I'd rather have that than actually be happy based only based. And it's only going to be based on I was not wrong. You could say, let's just say in the world, I was wrong, or I was making this mistake, or I truthfully was making that mistake of being impatient, digging up the seed. Who does that? Some do. And then they're the ones who become experienced, successful bloggers. Everybody else doesn't. Now, this goes across the board in life, and we've all been there, me included, many, many times. So this is why I share a video like this genuinely. And this is why I am setting aside some time this morning, now, actually at this minute, this afternoon in Korea. You have to look at yourself and say, how many times have I dug up the seed? And how many times have I panicked and bailed? And I looked at statistics after a day or after a week. Or here's another one, and we've all done it. We look back over a year and we say, oh my God, I've made almost nothing, even as you've been. And in some cases, bloggers don't do anything. So it's kind of very obvious form of self-sabotage that's easy to spot. You're not creating helpful content, meeting, connecting. So that's kind of easy to see. Although if you're digging up the seed, you can't see it. But in other cases, you have bloggers who are doing the right thing, and they're setting up stunning blogging success over the long haul. They're laying the foundation for their blogging business. They're publishing detailed long-form content and creating videos and putting themselves out there and being helpful across other channels. And then at the end of that 365-day period, they utterly panic when all that work, and they dig up the seed when all of it's brought $100 or $500 or even $1,000 or $70 or $25 or $126. Meanwhile, bloggers who face their fears trust in themselves and trust in the blogging process, so they do not dig up the seed after 365 days. There's an experience. I like mentioning this because it really gets you in the proper blogging frame of mind. It's helped me a lot for not digging up the seed. There was a blogger who was He's made seven figures. So he made millions of dollars through blogging. As you know, that's very rare. For the first year, and you have to remind yourself of this, he was publishing really excellent posts 1-2 times a day, long form, helpful, and he made like $600 at the end of the year. So you think he kept the seed in the ground and he trusted in himself and in the process, so he didn't panic. He carried on. He built relationships too with high level people. And gradually, over the long haul, he made millions and millions of dollars through blogging. He never dug up the seed. He didn't do it. And that's after 1 year where he was doing the work of a millionaire blogger, yet almost nobody showed up. After 365 days and putting in the work, and it was $600. That's what it takes in most of our cases. Some other bloggers, they'll take off more quickly. Other bloggers will make zero after that first year. After doing everything, it's how it goes. All of our journeys are highly personalized. That's why it's a horrible idea to compare yourself to other bloggers. And the only reason I would use him as an example, as far as some comparison, is a light bulb goes off when you think, gosh, this person stuck with it for that long, not just paying his domain and hosting bills for that period of time. No. He actually published dazzling content every day for a year, and it's $600 to most people. Oh, it's just $600. And they'd panic and fail and quit and dig up the seed. And that would be it, because they have fear in their mind. And maybe he did, but he faced it and let it go. Maybe he didn't, but he probably did. There's probably a little bit, or maybe beforehand, or maybe along the way, but he faced it, forgave it, handed it off, which instilled a deep trust in himself and in the blogging process, which kept him publishing the helpful content, putting himself out there, serving people, helping people, and being incredibly generous and genuine. So gradually, all that, because he didn't dig up the seed, he knew it was a tree he was looking to build. I'm saying build, looking to grow. It was a tree he was looking to grow. He didn't panic. And he stuck to the basics, and eventually he grew the tree, and he made millions of dollars through blogging, which, if you share that number with any blogger, most will have immense reverence for this individual, because they know that it is an uncomfortable journey. It's not so much difficult or super hard, but it gets so uncomfortable sometimes, guys, because you're building up this site from ground zero, just the base level yourself, and building your network and learning from pros and being patient. And you're going to keep running up against doubts and fears in your mind again and again and again and again and again and again and again, and you'll keep doing it. And the only sane choice, if you want to be free and succeed, is to remember that video I saw Ryan on Twitter. Somebody saw me, right? I saw him on YouTube, and he said, don't dig up the seed. And you'll see I'm taking my own medicine by mentioning my blogging courses, and by mentioning my blogging ebooks, and by mentioning specific creating the mindset of a successful blogger. So you'll see that, and you'll hear it in your mind. Twitter, I should say, and YouTube. And it's a seed. I'm planting that seed. Like, okay, maybe I won't buy it today, but I'll check it out. Maybe I won't check it out today, or maybe I'll share this video, or maybe I'll share the ebook with someone. And that's not me forcing you to buy it or manipulate you. Check it out. But it's at least planting a seed for something that's helpful for you. And then for me, of course, there's potential business expansion there, just because I'm still living a worldly life, and I still receive money for ebooks and courses, or for other channels potentially. But you gotta look at yourself and say, how many times did I quit, panic, bail, fail, give up, give in, it could be excruciating. And it was for me because I had to keep looking at myself when I go through these cycles of struggling or what appeared to be struggle and say, is am I being patient and sticking to the basics, or am I panicking, digging up the seed and running away and watching it die on the pavement? What am I doing? And I had to be straight. And I'm like, In some cases, I dug up. In other cases, for extended stretches, I didn't dig it up and I stuck to the fundamentals. And that's where the turning point came. I didn't dig it up. I'm like, I'm going for a tree here. And I'm going to keep doing the basics, keep sticking to the basics. Now you have to be hyper aware. The world acts out your mind, but most of it's unconscious. So you'll come up against critics and people who momentarily doubt you. Just having a moment. You want to forgive them. It's always an act of love. Life is either expression of love or a call for love. And a lot of times the call for love, it's going to be packaged in criticism and nasty feedback, negative feedback. People saying you're wasting your time. It's happened for me very many times over my career. So in that moment, forgive, let go. The critic, they're in pain, they're in fear, but they're mirroring your unconscious beliefs back to yourself. So say, okay, there's some doubt thoughts there coming to me, my mind, doubt thoughts being, let me let it go and not dig up the seed. I'm not going to panic, bail, and stop sticking to the fundamentals of publishing long form targeted content, being helpful in the right spots, and just relaxing and promoting your blogging business, promoting your services and your products. Because this all works in, guys. It all works in. So don't panic and quit because you're afraid of what people say about you or the feedback they offer, or you appear to lose faith or lose trust or doubt yourself because someone reflects it back to you and you're thinking, oh my God, what will they think? Or yeah, this critic. Like I remember one of my ebooks getting a lot of negative reviews, or a number of them getting negative reviews. I remember being so enraged at the time. They were just mirroring my rage and self-doubt back at me. But I did have a breakthrough because I didn't run back into a cave. I kept promoting the ebooks. I didn't dig up the seed and say, let me pull them. They're terrible. Oh my gosh, these are horrible. I didn't do that. But I had to be with the urge to panic and to what? Dig up the seed and get rid of it. And it's just there, guys. There's no way around it. It's going to come up in every blogger's mind at some point in their career, a handful of times, if not a lot. So just be honest with yourself. Coming up on a half hour, I think that's good for today. I think I'm not really hungry, but take a little meditating break and charge the phone up. Maybe I'll go live in a little bit and also stretch my neck out. Look at yourself honestly. When am I panicking? Say to yourself, when am I bailing? When am I digging up the seed? Trying to build a business here, am I being completely delusional? If I put a seed in the ground, it's going to take a while for the seed to grow into a tree. Put blogging seeds in the ground, and you have to keep creating the detailed content, targeted, building connections, being helpful to people. You have to keep doing that because it's going to take a while. With you doing that, it's going to take a while with you doing that to grow it into a business. So guys, call to action, stop by blogging from paradise.com. I sell blogging courses for your guidance and blogging ebooks for your guidance. They're in-depth, rich, detailed guides. One of the courses is how to get featured on world famous blogs. Could be a good course if you're really looking for exposure for your blog. And the other is how to become a pro blogger in 5 steps. This is a good one. Actually, could be a good one for anybody who wants to go pro, wants to go full time and get the fundamentals down. Because that's all that it is, guys. Being experienced and thriving is sticking to the fundamentals. And again, I sell 9 ebooks. Most of them are blogging, but I have a travel one, an inspirational one, a networking one that works really well. So that's it for today, guys. Love you. See you later on Twitter and YouTube. I will see you guys later.